Hi, thank you for attending the Digital and Cloud Summit. Today, we're in conversation with Saket from RIA. How are you?
Great, great. Nice to see you again.
I really appreciate you being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your company, RIA.
All right. I was born abroad in New Delhi, and after finishing college, moved to the country, and I'm living in Miami, and I've lived in San Jose in California and Canada also. Two kids, a girl and a boy. And my professional journey in utilities started in 1994 when I was a consultant at Florida Power and Light. And after that, I led a consulting practice at KPMG in Bearing Point, where I led a team of global consultants. And prime focus was selling and delivering CIS systems and utilities. After that, I joined Oracle, and was blessed to have an opportunity to start a brand new business within a large firm like Oracle. And what we did there was we took the billing and the pricing and revenue management application from utilities to financial services and healthcare. In many ways, it provided me with the right experience to start my own business, which I did about 4.5 years ago. And Oracle, of course, helped me develop deep industry relationships, which actually helped us propel our business.
Well, that's fantastic. I remember that offshoot of the Oracle product. If my memory serves, it was pretty wildly successful. So congratulations for the hard work you apparently had behind that. And Miami is a great city. I lived there for a little while when I got out of college. I really love that place. Well, let's move into a little more about your company. Tell us a little bit about RIA's products and services you guys provide.
Oh, sure. So we are a company that works in multiple industries, and our specialty is in revenue management, billing, rating, pricing. So utilities, financial services, public sector, and healthcare insurance verticals is where our focus is. And basically, our strategy is very simple. We want our clients. We consider our job is to make their life easier, and we offer products and services in that regard. So enabling digitization, providing insights into usage of electric, water, wastewater, specific to utilities. In financial services, looking at deposits, looking at number of wire transfers, some of the other usages. So we do provide a comprehensive range of IT consulting services, from project planning, implementation, post-production support for the CIS systems.
Oh, wow.
We focus on strategy to deliver better ROI and for utilities to be able to maximize their investment in CIS applications.
That sounds like a great business to be in. So in regards to RIA, what makes you guys a leader in the industry, and kind of what sets you guys apart?
All right, so I think we are uniquely positioned, and I think we are the only firm out there that does billing, revenue management for multiple industry verticals. Last I counted, we were active in about 12 to 14 verticals. By that, what I mean is financial services, which includes banking, capital markets, payment industry segments, financial exchange, like New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange and stuff, healthcare, different kinds of healthcare business, of course, utilities, public sector tax, as an example, which is kind of closely associated with municipal utilities also. And we routinely use learnings from one industry vertical and apply it in another. There are multiple examples of that. We have taken some of the high performance needs in financial services and are applying into utilities. We are getting a very good response from our prospects and customers. So I think that makes us very, very unique. And all of our managing partners have over 20 years of industry experience, and most of them in multiple industries. The way we see the billing, the CIS, the pricing issues and challenges and pain points of our customers they seem to be very common across different verticals. Of course, there are nuances and stuff like there are no meters in financial services, but yes, overall, every firm out there, every business out there has challenges and opportunities in the area of revenue management.
That's really interesting because I think, you know, a lot of us in utilities have been doing it a long time and we know the utility business, but it's kind of neat that what you guys are doing, taking good ideas from other industries and, you know, helping provide those ideas to your utility clients. Mm-hmm. Does any particular one thing stand out that you've been able to present to a utility client?
Yes, as I was mentioning, there is a need in financial services to do a lot of processing of transactions, kind of like similar to meter readings in utilities, huge amount of volume, actually in many cases, much more than utilities, and process those in a matter of hours. I'm talking about 100 to 500 million of transactions less than an hour. So we actually have some patented technologies that we used in financial services, and we are now applying that in utilities. A good example would be to calculate bills for 5 million customers for over a year in a few hours, and use that to calculate accruals, to document your discussions with PUC for a rate case, and the many other uses that people can think of. And we are getting some very good response using some of the innovation we have done in financial services and healthcare and applying that into utilities.
That's very cool. Is there anything else that maybe you guys are doing specific in regards to strategy for the utility industry?
Yeah, our strategy is extremely simple. We focus on opportunities, pain points for all the utility stakeholders. And the key focus is on our utility customers, and of course, internal IT, business and operation users also. So we are developing tools to kind of service and enable these stakeholders to move to the digital world. So in financial services, as you can imagine, how many of us go to a bank branch nowadays? Everything is virtual, online, with KYC, know your customer, and all that good stuff. No one fills out a form. No one drives to a bank to deposit that form. In extremely rare cases, in corporate customers' case, that may be an exception. But for digital customer, for a digital bank, everything is virtual. Everything is digital, and also. Google, Amazon, Facebook have become quasi banks and quasi financial services companies, and they're somewhat taking away business from the traditional banks. So banks and other financial services had to adapt and start their digital journey probably about 10 years ago. I think the utilities have started also extensively. We believe there are huge amount of opportunities applying financial services and healthcare learnings into utilities from that perspective. We have actually created tools that do enhanced test automation. We have a data migration integration hub, a reporting analytics to provide some insights to our clients and the clients themselves, using digital self-service to serve different kind of users in the area of revenue management. So this becomes simpler to address their pain points.
Well, very cool. I didn't realize you have your own software products you've built as well. That sounds very interesting. I'm going to make sure to come by your booth later and ask more about that.
Sure. We are very excited about our software products, and some of them are supplemental to a CIS solution, and some of them are very different. They're taking the problem and turning it over its head, and very excited about our software products.
On the consulting side, do you guys focus on a particular, technology or a particular, software? I know you've got Oracle experience, obviously, but anything else, or do you just work on general consulting in the utility industry? Technology focused, I'm sure.
Yeah. So we do work with Oracle, CCNB, and other C2M application and focus on cloud. Our products are open source, mostly driving the investment down for our customers extensively. And so our products some of them use Oracle technologies, but most of them are really integrating to the Oracle technology, but are using open sources, which is becoming very, our large customers like Visa, like Deutsche Bank. All these folks are very open to using the open sources, and I think the trend is coming into utilities also. So yes, our primary focus is using the Oracle technology in financial services from a billing application perspective in financial services, healthcare, public sector, and utilities. But our supplemental products that go around it and complete the solution. And then, of course, enabling the digital customer and the other users to use our self-service and insight applications to help them make better decisions.
Yeah, very cool. And it sure seems like open source is coming to its own. I mean, for a long time in the general technology world, but for utilities, I agree. Our utilities friends are certainly open to it more today than they were even a few years ago. So that's good to hear. Mm-hmm. Well, a couple more questions for you. I mean, it's been an interesting year, obviously. We won't go too much into that, but let's focus on the future. But, you know, young people are out there getting into the workforce these days, and have to admit, technology seems to continue to be growing in the wave of the future with our economy and business in general. Do you have any advice for maybe a young person that is looking to get into technology?
I'm just kind of taking myself back to college days or even before. I think one thing that I've seen, a very good quality that I always look for when we are hiring, and we do strive to hire young people because they think a little different than us. No pun intended, Rick. But if someone is striving to learn new skills and does not get frustrated when they're trying to fix a problem or find a solution, they will typically be very successful in the technology world. When you are researching to fix an issue and you get exposed to so much new learning, and the satisfaction that you get to solve a complex issue is pretty good feeling also. And I think if someone is taking new initiatives to learn new skills, and implementing a brilliant idea that you may have by making an app or simple websites, it'll get you very interested in tech, and this may create a very robust portfolio, and there'll be a lot of companies like ours who could be potential employers, and we are always looking for good employees and getting smart people on board of our firm, and especially young people, because they think different. I still have patience in me to walk over to a utility and deliver a form. A lot of my folks who work in our company will not. They would want a completely digital experience. So we have to, a lot of developers in our company and some of the junior people, we have kept them in management position because we really think it matters what they think. So, and more important, most of the things in technology world have not been invented yet. So there have been few things that have been invented. When I say few, it's a lot, but there's more things waiting to be invented than what the inventions that have been already done.
Makes sense. So in closing, if there was one thing or one key thing our audience should take away from the interview, what do you think that should be?
So again, I think one key thing from this interview is that utilities industry is changing, like we have seen the change in other industries. There are challenges on multiple fronts. Digitization is, with the right security, with the right kind of adoption, without messing up some of the legacy applications that you have to rely on, is what is going to be in the next 4 or 5 years going to be a journey for most utilities. The cloud adoption for banks was a little bit less, but it is much open now. And I believe utilities will see the same progression, just like we have seen in some of the other industries. And again, as I said, I feel we are ones which are, who is very well positioned to take the learnings from one and implement in another. That is what I would like for someone to take away from this interview. I think it's a merging of all the industry verticals, solving the revenue management problems in a unique and a uniform way is what is out there. And that's a huge opportunity for our firm. We are well positioned to invest and reap the benefits.
It sure sounds like it. Well, I'm excited to learn more about your firm at the summit and look forward to learning more, and really appreciate it. Thank you for watching our interview today in conversation at the Digital and Cloud Summit. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it.
You bet.